Welcome to a Starter and a Chaser podcast with your hosts, Joe Clarke and Jon Passow.
Billy D. Williams, his first initials are BD. His equally talented son, Corey D. Williams, his initials are CD. So if you take BD and CD and play those as musical notes 3 times in front of a mirror, Billy D. Williams appears and gives you a bottle of Colt 45. Now my Uncle Kurt told me that, oh, hey, welcome to another episode of a Starter and a Chaser podcast. I am Professional Brewer Jon Passow.
I'm Whiskey Connoisseur Joe Clarke.
And Joe, for today's very special episode, tell the viewers out there what we are reviewing.
Triple review of Remy Martin Cognac.
Nice. Now, who is Remy Martin?
Remy Martin started Cognac in 1724 in Cognac, France. They also hold 80% of the market of fine cognacs.
Wow, that's good. Huge.
Yeah. So Cognac is a fine champagne appellation made from a blend of Eau de Vie. from Grand Champagne and Petit Champagne Crus. Yes.
Very good. So Crus are vineyards. Eau de Vie is fruit brandies that are double distilled and have subtle aromatics and flavors of each of the fruit.
So I've heard this thing is like, this is basically like a distilled wine.
Basically, so they use grapes from the Grand Champagne and Petit Champagne vineyards that are world famous. So this, by having the fine champagne appellation applied to these, that means this is the best of the best ingredients for cognac. So that's what that means. Now these are traditionally made by distilling the beverage on the lees, and the lees is the sediment that is created as the wine ferments. So it's fermented on that using small copper stills. It's aged in Limousin oak barrels and
Cadillac or Lincoln?
No, Lincoln.
Oh, okay.
You know, it's extra large. So Limousin, by the way, is a region of France where they get the wood from. The wood is a very loose grain, which allows a lot more exchange in and out of the distillate to grab that much more flavors. So that's Limousin oak. Now, in addition to aging in those, they pull them out, they rest them for a period, and then they put them in different Limousin oak barrels as well. So there's this weird aging, mixing, introduction of oxygen when they transfer it. So there's a lot that really goes on with these cognacs. First one up that we're going to have is the VSOP, which stands for Very Special Old Potato. Very Special Old Pale.
I was going to say Very Special Old People.
Old people. Old people are special too.
They are. Very special.
And if you are a very special old person, be sure to hit subscribe and leave us a comment down below. It's always appreciated. This was introduced into the market in 1927, and it was actually the first VSOP, which is a Very Special Old Pale Cognac. So it's the first one on the market for that. It is also the best-selling VSOP on the market, and it is a minimum of 4 years old. Up next, Joe.
Okay, we have the 1738 Accord Royal. So that is, it was introduced in 1997, and that was introduced honoring King Louis XV, who granted Remy to plant new vineyards via the Accord Royal. The Accord Royal is the royal permission to do that, to plant the new vineyards. And it is also aged in giggity, toasted barrels.
Ooh, we love toasted barrels here on the podcast. And we are finishing off with the very heavy bottle, XO. It is a very metal, brutal.
Is it wee
cognac.
heavy?
It is wee heavy. It was introduced to the market in 1981. It is a minimum of 10-year juice in this, 10-year aged juice. And it is this particular one is a blend of up to 400 different Eau de Vies.
Wow.
That's insane.
Okay.
Well, we've been long on the tooth on the intro, but these are very special products. Joe, let's start with the nose on the VSOP.
I am new to this, like fresh. So let's see what I get.
And I lived in wine country, so I've had a lot of brandies up there and have a lot of experience with cognac, so I love them. What are you getting?
It's not like, it doesn't smell grapey, but almost like plum to me.
Oh.
Plum and barrel. More plum. A little bit of grape, a little hot on the nose. What is the proof on this?
I think they're all, what are they? We didn't write that down.
We did not. This is 40% alcohol, 40% alcohol, and 40% alcohol.
Okay, so they're all 40.
It is hot for 40%.
80 proof.
By the way, plummy, barrely, and hot.
Plummy, barrel, hot. Okay. All right. Let's move to 1738. And by the way, if you do hear some noise and thunder in the background, we've got a big thunderstorm coming through right now. Major.
Ooh, this is more of like a red grape kind of smell, or purple like grape, or Concord type grape. Yeah, I'm not real, like, green and red to me. Or purple. Very similar on the nose. No heat on this one. Kind of getting a little bit. Man, I'm having trouble. This is so new to me. Kind of maybe little barrel notes in the background on that.
You picking any toasted barrel notes up there?
A little bit, little char in the background, not real heavy. It's so heavy on that plummy, grapey smell. You know what I mean? So I'm sure that's kind of how they are going forward.
All right, the XO.
Ooh, 10 years.
And all these titles, by the way, VSOP, XO, etc., the VS, VO, those all denote an age requirement. So it's not a different style, it's a different age level.
Okay, this is more like, this is very whiskey-like. You're getting a lot of the barrel on this one. Now, this
10-year
almost, this, if fool me, but this kind of smells like a toasted barrel kind of thing going on in the background. Or maybe a charred barrel, or I don't know how they do their barrels like that versus whiskey barrels and stuff. I know everybody trades everything, but you never know. That grape, plummy, kind of fruity note is heavily died down on this. There's no heat. It smells very creamy, very floral. You do get the grape and plummy notes, but it's just kind of more well integrated.
It's mellow.
It's very mellow.
Okay.
Yeah. So.
All right, let's flip these open.
Yeah.
And start off with the very special old person.
People. Yeah. Cheers.
Great color, by the way, on this one.
Not like the nose at all.
Very light.
Yeah.
Little heat. Little barrel shows right up.
Yeah.
A little heat. You're right. So I'm gonna go back for a second sip.
Yeah, the overpoweringly plum grapey note that's on the nose, especially on the VSOP, is not present on the palate.
By the way, those tannins are building majorly right now.
Oh, a lot smoother.
A little caramel, but I get grape. I get it is definitely very vinous.
Yes.
And the tannins are a little bit of like a barrel tannin, but it's also like a Cabernet Sauvignon. I mean, it's got like this grape tannin, which has a different mouthfeel than wood, I feel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's good. I like
it. It hits you a little bit in the center of the chest. But
yeah, it's got a little French hug to it.
It's got a French kiss.
It's got a French kiss. That's it. Yeah.
All right. I'm talking about Billy D and Corey D. Williams, both Star Wars people, and I'm drinking out of a Star Trek mug. Sorry, guys. All right.
Let's move into the 1738 Accord Royale.
Now, this is a little darker in color than the last one. I mean, it's ruby. That is ruby.
This is a nice color.
All right.
All right.
Cheers.
Ooh, grapey.
Grapey, but a lot more like
barrel.
Grape sweetness and caramel and vanilla. Yeah, more barrel presence.
It's funny, once I took a quick sip, I just started getting more out of the nose, actually. Maybe I'm getting acclimated to being cognac, and because you being a whiskey person or a beer person, sometimes you trick yourself.
You're geared.
This is how it's supposed to smell. This is how it's and you just now it's kind of easing that whole thought process and like, oh, okay, there's the grapes. There's kind of the plummy note I'm getting, and definitely a lot more toasted barrel on this. It's a little chewier of a drink. Yeah.
And I'm getting a little marshmallow. It's weird.
Yeah,
it's like pillowy, slightly charred marshmallow.
I'm picking up like a kind of a candied sugar note along with this.
Yeah.
Sure, yeah.
It's like one of those hard candies that you suck on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not a Werther's. We don't.
No. It's like a sugar candy, not like a toffee candy. Still, once again, light on the mouthfeel. Both of these go down really easy.
Yeah.
Which is really dangerous.
Yes, I agree. That's a nice drink. I like the color on that one. It almost matches the XO actually in color. They're very similar on the colors. Man.
XO is a little darker.
It's a little darker, but they're the hues are very, very similar.
No. Clean our palates in between here.
Wow. A lot of barrel was building up on that one, big time.
Yeah. It's interesting. The VSOP had some barrel that like really shot to the forefront.
And then it went away. Yeah, that one kind of carried through.
It was like a slow.
Sure. Yeah. On the second sip for me, it was like kind of you get it throughout the palate. At least I think.
XO. Nostrovia.
The mouthfeel on that.
Oh, heavy mouthfeel. Perfumey.
Ooh.
Floral perfumey. I mean, this is like, everybody's like, French people, we wear the cologne and we smoke the cigarettes, and look at me, I do not care, I smoke the cigarette. It's got like this French stereotypical quality when I drink it. It's like, it's perfumey, and it's barrel and wine, and wow, that one really transports me. That's insane.
This is very heavy on all the flavors, but this is super well integrated. You're drinking a fine drink. I'm not a big wine guy, but I can get into these cognacs, man.
This is impressive.
Especially with the Champagne and the Cognac notes on them.
Yeah. In America, we pronounce every letter. I'm going to go back for a second. I think I only had one.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm sorry, I keep talking before you. You go first.
All right,
go first.
This is like a mash of these these two products together. You're getting kind of a mixture, but it's like a well integrated version if these two were mixed together with a lot of nice barrel characteristics. It's very heavy mouthfeel. I pick up a lot of, it's got a wine quality to it for sure, more absolutely. So than the other ones. I'm getting caramel, vanilla, definitely candied sugars on there, brown sugar, but I get a lot of the grape, and keep getting this like plum note. I'm keep thinking grape, but I just keep getting this kind of a plum taste to it. That's pretty much it on that, but it's very heavy on the flavors. It's concentrated for sure.
I mean, they have 400 different eau de vets. Up to 400 different eau de vets blended together. So I mean, I could just imagine the wealth of different fruit notes that you're getting from each of those. And you're right, it is concentrated. It's like you took fresh pressed grape juice and then condensed it on the stove and then served it up after sitting in a barrel. I mean, it's thick. It is thick. Yeah. Rich, and I do get a little bit of that plum, but I get a little bit of that vanilla and chewy barrel and caramel, and this is just minimum 10 years.
Right.
I mean, cognacs are known for up to 30 years. Usually after like 38 years, they say it's kind of risky, but they can go up to 50 years and still just be an incredible product.
Wow.
And this is 10 years, and this gives you an idea of the ageability and just how intense it's just going to get from here on out.
Do they cap the year like that because of it being a great product, or?
Well, that's one of the reasons why cognac, like real cognac with the real champagne appellation applied to it, is considered some of the best, is because grapes from that region are highly ageable. So that base ageability is there from the base ingredient, and then they distill it, and it just it's even better and better, and more.
And I'm sure climate, like any other drink you're aging and stuff, there's a certain climate range you want it to be sitting at, and cellar temperature or whatever you say when you're aging things like that. But that's really interesting.
All right, let's give our final thoughts on Remy Martin Cognac or Cognac.
Cognac. Okay, Cognac. This is tough. I'm actually having trouble between these two. I like them a lot. This is good. They're all very good, by the way. There's not, I wouldn't say any of these are bad or beginner, or they are very different from each other. But like I said, this is kind of a mash between us, but I really did like this 1738 a lot, John. I did. I like the toasted barrel aspect of it and everything. You get a lot of that in there. And being a whiskey guy, I like sometimes having that real kick of a barrel in the background. And that one's really nice. Like, okay, I'll revisit it. Like,
I'm going through just to make sure.
1738. I'm gonna hit the XO.
XO. Jesus.
It's very good. The XO is very good. I am now getting like a really heavy caramel note to that, man. I don't know if it's because I just mixed the two.
Could be. So, you're having a hard time between 1738, the XO, and we thought the VSOP was good though.
No, it's the XO.
The XO is the winner for Joe?
Yeah, okay, so the caramel note with the XO kind of pushes it over the edge of the other two. I don't really know what the retail is on them, but yeah, I'm going to go 1, 2, 3.
And I'm going to actually go 1, 1, 1. No, I'm sorry, 1.
They're all good.
They are all good.
They're good, man.
See,
they really are.
I'm having a trouble here. And my trouble is the VSOP and the 1738, while having similar characteristics, they've got like different applications, I feel. Like a VSOP before dinner, boy, I'd like to sit there and just like with a brandy snifter and a nice thin cigar, and that would be awesome. But like, this with dinner would be good, and then the XO after dinner. I mean, it's all got its places. So I'm going to say XO number 1. I'm going to say 1738 is number 2, and VSOP number 3. But man, that's close.
It's
These
tough.
Are all
They're
fantastic.
really actually very close to each other. I'm not trying to say this is light year. They're close. This might be one of those drinks that's what mood are you in for any of these.
And like I was saying, before dinner, dessert.
There's plenty of whiskeys and drinks I go back and forth with over time. Like, I like this one better. No, now I like this one better. So. But that's it, guys. What do you think of the show? What did you think of doing the cognacs? And if you have had any one of these Remy Martin cognacs, comment down below. And remember, you can watch us on YouTube, or you can listen to us on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts,
check us
Breaker,
on Instagram, Facebook, the Book of Faces. Yeah. And we will be back on another day with another episode for you guys. So
maybe a whiskey and a beer next time.
Maybe. Ooh, let me get my bass. We can play the notes in front of the mirror, and then we can get the Colt 45, and that'll be our next review. I'll go get my bass.
We're gonna go do that.